And we're live here at this station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
I'm Treacherous Trista.
And we're joined by Missy Sahagun and director Matthew Vinaja of the upcoming Appetite for Sin, which you can see right behind Matthew there. Not the movie, but the
There we go.
That's some good promo.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I approve.
I just started doing this on another interview, and I did, and they really loved it a lot, and it looks cool, so I decided to stick with it.
Yeah.
Until it's not cool anymore, then I'll stop. But I think
I don't think there'll ever be a time it's not cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of cool.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. It's going to be fun. So, first of all, for people not aware yet, what is Appetite for Sin?
Ooh, well, Appetite for Sin is a vampire horror film that we are shooting. We continue actually production May 29th through June 4th in Los Angeles. But the funny thing is that we've kind of had a long journey with this film here. It's been a journey for sure. So we actually shot the opening scene in June of 2019 with intent to continue production in March of 2020. But of course that didn't happen, and so
right
we got
about the exact time.
the exact month we were going to start shooting again, like 2 weeks before we were supposed to begin, we got shut down. And so, I was kind of very to be honest, a little worried about picking up production again, and so we shot as much as we could safely in November. I kind of wanted to hold off on shooting a lot of the gory special effects, bloody vampire stuff, just because it was still really unsure. Kind of in November, it could have went either way, honestly, at that time. So we shot all the safe scenes, and now in May 29th we finish it. So it's been something that's been in the making now for a while.
Yeah. Now, Missy, how did you get involved? I read a little bit about you. I think you were working.
Oh no! What did you hear?
Oh, nothing. Then it's all good. It's all good.
It started. Well, I first met Matthew, and we had worked together previously on another group. And at the time, I was hired on as hair and makeup. So for his horror movies, I was kind of working behind the scenes. But he would always ask me, is there something else you want to do? And I would be like, oh, maybe today's the day I tell him I want to act. So finally one day I was like, yeah, all right. What's the worst he's going to do? Laugh at me? So I was like, all right, I'm kind of interested in acting. So then he tells me about this project, and that's kind of how I got involved. I was like, yes, this is amazing.
So how far along was the script when Missy got involved, and did the character change once Missy got involved?
Well, the script is a kind of a funny story. So that started off as a short script. Actually, it was supposed to originally be a short film, and I had written that in 2016. So almost 5 years ago. 5 years ago, yeah. And we really liked the story a lot, because some of the projects she was talking to you about. So we worked on a film called Toothless, and it was a short film, and she was hair and makeup. And then we did another film with Tony Moran and Robert Mukes called A Beautiful Place. And she was also on hair and makeup there. So we had worked on a couple of shorts, and the shorts was kind of the way we were going. And financially, that was kind of the best that we could have done. And so originally Appetite was supposed to be a short story, but we really just dug the characters so much. And we were like, well, what if we added this to her character name is Sarah Hayes. So what if we added a little bit more of a backstory to Sarah, and the vampire hunter, his name is Jeffrey. We were like, okay, well, what if we gave Jeffrey a little bit of a background? And so before I knew it, it was already like a 30-page script. And I was like, all right, well, it's not really a short anymore, but it's not a feature. So after we both were like, oh, this is a cool 30-page script. And we were just like, oh, well, what if we add 5 more vampires to your group? And what if we add this whole other backstory to Jeffrey? And so before we knew it, it was 90 pages in. And we were like, all right, well, now what do we do with it? Because all we had done was shorts. So we didn't really know where to go and how to do it. And so it kind of plateaued for a minute. We were just like, well, kind of just sat on it because just kind of intimidated and like, okay, well now it's a whole feature and we'd never done this before. And so I call Missy up one day. I'm like, hey, well, what if we treat this as a short film? Like, why don't we go and just shoot the opening scene and then we start at Indiegogo or Kickstarter and see what the interest is like? Like, let's just try it. So that's what we did. We went and we shot the opening scene and treated it as a short film. Like, we colored it and scored it and did everything. We treated it as if it was a finished product and we put it out there. And so now here we are about to finish our full feature film in a couple months. So it's been a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. Now, Missy, I don't want to add any pressure. Was that added pressure, going in, you think this is a short film and it's your first time as the lead actor, and then it becomes a feature film?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, in theory, it should have, but I don't know if it just hasn't sunk in.
Yeah. Maybe it has now. I shouldn't have asked.
I'm like, wait, what? Pressure? Oh God, no.
What did Neal say on that interview a couple months ago?
Matthew, we need to talk after this. I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, not at all, because I knew that I was going to give it my all. I knew that it was going to be a lot of work. I knew that it was going to be something new for me. So I was going to have to learn new skills and probably, do something a little scary. But the only thing that changed is just the length of it. So in reality, I'm like, oh no, trying not to put too much pressure on it. It's still supposed to be fun. Mm-hmm. So as long as it's still fun, no pressure.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Neal. So it's funny. When Missy had approached me, because she had never done any acting before and we had never talked about her acting, but it was funny though, like when she approached me about acting, like it just like I didn't even like hesitate. I'm just like, oh, you want to act? Sweet, let's give you some to act in. And like I just like, because I've told her before, like I've always seen like there's something as great as she is with everything she does, like I've always seen that there's just something like extra with her. Like there's like she needs something extra, like to like give her like this push to like let her fully be what she wants to do, was acting and in a feature film. And so I knew that she can handle it. I knew that like, the feature script wasn't going to be something that like she couldn't do or struggle with, because I knew that like, I knew she was, up for it and ready to do it. And so, the faith and the connection between us has kind of been there from day one. And that's why it was so simple. It was an easy decision.
Once you meet Missy, does the character Sarah change? Once you know her and like you start to write the character for her?
Well, it's fun. So I actually, when I was writing the script, this was after she had told me she wanted to act. Okay. And so I actually kind of wrote the character about her. Like I had Missy's persona in mind while writing the character. And she had told me some of her past interests and something she's had interest before, and actually inspired the whole detective thing. If you kind of want to maybe talk a little bit about that, Missy, on how the role is kind of perfect for you.
Yeah. So I had told Matthew about like back in the day, I used to go around killing people and draining their blood to sustain life. And he's like, you know what? Yeah. He's like, that kind of sounds like a story. I feel like there's a story there. I'm like, yeah, like write about my vampire days. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, before I went into like the beauty industry and started working behind the scenes in horror movies, I actually received my degree in criminal law. I was working for a lawyer. That's kind of the route I was going. And I was like, I love it, but it's not enough for my creative side. I was like, it's not challenging my creativity at all. Because you want a lawyer that's, going to get you off, not creatively entertain the jury.
Better Call Saul works.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, I need to do something different. So I gave all this information to Matthew like from day one. So I feel like, I think that definitely influenced Sarah Hayes' character. The very first time that I read the script, I think I don't know if it was midnight or like around 3 a.m. for me, because vampire, and I remember thinking like, holy hell, like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this character. Not like a not a brag or anything, but I was just like, I can get in her mindset. And then later Matthew's like, oh yeah, like it was kind of inspired by you. I was like, okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so with her love of horror films and her being a detective / vampire in the movie, I mean, it's kind of a both worlds on, you know, on the things that she loves, and with her background in hair and makeup, she's kind of like designed this character too. So it's like we don't have like a special hair and makeup artist coming in to like style Missy. What you see on screen, like that's going to be all that's going to be all Missy. Like she wants to do her own hair and makeup, and so it's like everything. It's like the horror side, the criminal law side, the hair and makeup side. It's kind of all coming full circle on this one.
Interesting. I was asked if you've done that, but obviously you've not done that before, since it'll be your first movie you're acted in. But how will that work?
My first PG movie? I'm just kidding. I'm just totally kidding. Nobody needs to Google
interview.
that. Yeah, nobody needs to Google that. There's nothing out there. It's all fake.
Trista, do you have a question?
Yeah, so your first feature is a huge endeavor for both of you. What do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned? Each of you.
Matthew, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I can go first. Well, I think there's many different ways to go with that because, yeah, it's my first feature. So anything I've ever shot before, we've shot in one day. It's been a 12, 14-hour day. We'll go in and we're done. And so we shot one scene already, the opening scene. We did 5 days in November, and now we got another week here coming up. And so it's like, we have almost 2 weeks of shooting that we're doing compared to 1 day. So that's already a huge, massive thing. It's, no longer a 1 day. Let's get cameras for 1 day, sound for 1 day. It's trying to get everybody's schedules together too. It's, not just my schedule, not just Missy's schedule, but like our camera operator, our sound guy, all, just the whole crew. And so that's been a huge learning opportunity, but also COVID. Not only is this my first feature, but we have these additional struggles that we've added now as well. So we never had to have a COVID compliancy officer on set. We've never had to do tests before going in. We've never had to try to quarantine before we get on set. We're usually trying to meet up and do rehearsals and stuff like that. So now we're doing rehearsals via Zoom, and so I feel that this has kind of helped us in the long run. Actually, things have. At least I think it's a little more difficult doing a feature during COVID, and so now going after this, and hopefully COVID's over soon, and all this isn't really a thing anymore. Hopefully the next feature, there's not as many struggles, but if they come up, we kind of know how to tackle them because. Like I said, we've been shooting this since summer of 2019. Right. So there's been a bunch of things we've kind of had to adjust and figure out, but I think we've done a pretty good job with it so far.
Missy, you said you always wanted to act. What are some of the movies or characters that inspired you to like, this is something I'd like to do?
Oh gosh. I'm going to start off with Hammer films. Okay, I think cool. Like I kind of grew up with that, and I was like, oh, that is dark, but it's sexy and it's bloody and it's badass. And I was like, I want to do that. How do I do that? How do I get in there? How do I become one of these ladies? And then I gotta say, some of Quentin stuff, like it's not like a lot of horror, but his horror, like I love how it's cheesy, but again, it's bloody and it's also sexy and badass. So just that combination of like sexy and badass, and it's bloody and it's scary. That, and just the idea of like, you're watching something and it's totally spooky and you're getting like sucked into the story, but then you take this breather and you're like, oh wait, it's just a movie. That idea of like, you can play pretend and make people forget that it's a movie, you know what I mean? And it's like, how do I make that my life? I would love to do that, get to play pretend, and for a split moment, make people think that, oh, this is reality. Like, this is how really it is, you know? So weird influences, I gotta say.
Oh, okay. How did you first get involved in doing makeup for movies?
How did I start? Oh gosh. Well, I don't have why do I not have a good resume? I don't have like a clear resume.
Well, wasn't Toothless the first one you did, or did you do some before that?
I did music videos, but I don't think I did movies. Not horror movies. I think Toothless was my first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was with Matthew. So Matthew. Matthew again.
Thank this guy. He's
Oh my God, yeah. Thank you.
and Toothless is
Have I
on
ever-
YouTube, by the way, for people who would like to watch it.
It's good. Watch it.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
I was saying it wasn't a question. I was just letting people know that Toothless. If people want to check it out, it's on. YouTube.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I got it on. I got Toothless and A Beautiful Place up on my personal Vimeo and on YouTube as well. Yeah.
How about yourself? What were some of the things that made you want to become a filmmaker?
Well, the film that actually made me say, "Yep, this is what I want to do," was House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. I had been a huge horror fan growing up, but it wasn't even really something where I was like this at a young age, like I knew. But it was after I saw House of a Thousand Corpses. I think it was 2003, so I was like 13, or 2002. I was either 12 or 13, and the movie came out. I'm just like, yep, that's exactly what. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah,
2003, because 2013 is the panel was the 10th anniversary, the one that I was.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So after I saw that movie, I was just like, yep, that's what I want to do. And then just a couple years after that, I had taken a film production class in high school. And the first thing was go make a movie. And so I went and did a zombie movie inspired by Night of the Living Dead from George Romero. Kind of went back to some of the classics that I loved growing up. And that's how it all got started. The first time I ever got a camera in my hand and started directing, I'm just like, if I can do this full time as a job, yes. So I made my first short when I was 16. And but it was just a fun school project. But I mean, that was 15 years ago. So this dream has kind of been something I've been chasing for about 15 years now.
What was it about House of a Thousand Corpses?
Well, I was always a huge fan of rock and roll and metal growing up. My sister worked at a Hot Topic, and I was always in there. So like that type of music, that genre, that lifestyle, I always gravitated towards. And so just naturally just became a big Rob Zombie fan, and was listening to his music, and I was like, oh, Rob Zombie's putting out a movie. I should go check this out. So my friends and I, of course, we were underage, so we snuck into the theater to go watch it. I don't know if it was the thrill of sneaking in or the thrill of finally being able to see a movie in the theaters that just shocked me. No, that movie was just inspiring because just visually, it's beautiful. I mean, you started off in Captain Spaulding's, museum, and it's just the ride, the colors, the music, just everything. It took me back to like old school horror. It kind of just reminded me of like 70s horror. And then you see Frankenstein masks in his museum, and it's like just a combination of everything you love in horror but new, and no one was kind of doing that at that time. Still no one's really making films like he does. And so it just stood out, and it was different, and it was heavy metal, and we snuck in. We weren't supposed to do it, so kind of just everything was like, yes, this is
Frankenstein mask I saw in Appetite. It's like a pumpkin Frankenstein mask.
Yeah. That was designed by special effects artist director Joe Castro. He designed that mask for us, and it's a combination of Frankenstein and a pumpkin, and it's like bright orange. So it's supposed to be the mask was kind of inspired by Halloween 3 and Frankenstein and just a regular pumpkin. And so we just kind of did a collaboration of a bunch of things we loved and just made one.
Yeah, I approve.
And it definitely stands out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Trista,
I want a copy of that. No, I was gonna say I want a copy. Like that needs to go into production, and that needs to be available with the DVD or something, because I need one. I know I'm gonna get hit up.
Yeah.
I already see it in my DMs. Where can I get that mask? I'm like, I don't know. Let me know when you find out. I'm just kidding.
Well, there's one available on Kickstarter right now.
Yes. Which it's a great perk if you go to the crowdfunder on Kickstarter for Appetite for Sin.
Yeah, so that mask is actually going to be one that we're going to have on set. I don't know if it's going to be a screen-worn one, but it's going to be one that we're going to have there handy as a backup in case the one that, the main one kind of, something wonky kind of happens with it. But it's going to be on set with us. It's going to be there the whole time. So it's going to be a collector's item, hopefully one day.
Yeah. It would also I think would make good shirts too. The orange mask on a black t-shirt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, ever since we put that mask out, we've had a lot of questions about it. Where can we get one? What was it inspired by? And you're right. Is there gonna be a shirt with it? So
Yeah. Trista, do you have another question?
Yeah, you mentioned Joe Castro. He's a friend of the show. We love Joe. Can you talk more about his special effects on the film?
yeah, so Joe Castro. Well, I feel like I've been talking a little too much. Missy, do you want to kind of talk about your experience with Joe working on that opening scene? That was a fun one.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Brain fart. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Where's my coffee? I was like, opening Joe. When did we? Yes, we did. Oh gosh. Last year was too crazy. Last year was insane. Oh goodness. Okay. So, bloody, gooey, more bloody. One more blood. Let's throw one more bloody out there. Oh gosh. I just don't know if like people really felt all the blood that went into that scene. It was amazing. He's very gifted. I thought that was amazing. That neck piece that I was able to go in and tear off of Robert Mukes. I sit on him and I'm like devouring him. And it helped me get in the mindset of like, that's skin. I did that damage. It just go animalistic. That piece was amazing. Very well sculpted, very, very well blended in. That squirting of the blood was perfect. And then the texture that he created for meat, I was like, oh, perfect. That really does look like meat. I mean, I see my cats eating raw meat sometimes. So I'm like, I just eat like them. So yeah, his amazing talent helped me get in the mindset of like, I'm just going to devour this ginormous human being. Cause he's like, what, 3 times my size? But at that moment, I'm like, no, I'm kind of alpha here. I'm going to eat you. And so that was really fun. And he's really great. He's very knowledgeable of his skills. So that's kind of my experience with Joe. Yeah. And he
loves what he's doing, which I think comes through on everything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we actually about 3 weeks before we shot that scene, Robert Mukes and I, we went to Joe Castro's studio. And I'm not sure what the whole process is, but you know, he put this casting on Robert, and we did this indent where the bite was going to be, and so it's an actual like mold that we created for Robert Mukes, and it was very realistic, and we put it on him, and he had these little chunks that we put in like the indent where where Missy can like bite and pull out, like it was this full on thing, like it was pretty incredible. Yeah,
we had a tendon.
Yeah,
we had a tendon in there, a little like thing I could nibble and tug at.
Yeah. Joe was like, pull this one piece out, and then that will release the blood, and then then you'll get drenched in it, and then it'll be phenomenal. We're like, okay.
That was awesome. That's right. I totally forgot. You pull, it snaps, and the
it
squirts. It just like squirts in your face. I was like, oh, that is fucking, I'm sorry. Can I curse? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Okay. that was fucking amazing. I'm like, you gotta have a brilliant mind and understanding of like how that works, how that mechanism works. Like, how do you do that? That looks like CGI, and it wasn't. It was real. Like, that's a prop. Like, he did that. He made that happen. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was very important for me that everything we do in Appetite is as practical as possible. Now, of course, there might be a few things here and there where we add later, but I don't expect that at all. Like all the kills that everyone's going to see in Appetite, those are all practical effects. Those are all things that we're building from nothing. We're doing there on set, and they're all it's all going to be by Joe Castro, and so. You only get top quality when you involve someone like him, and so that's one of the things that we're doing. It's just making sure everything's practical on set for sure.
Was he also helpful letting you know like how to film some of the things? Because he's brought this up to me as sometimes people don't know how to shoot like the actual effects, and then it might not translate to the screen. Yeah,
absolutely. Him being a director himself. Was very helpful to me as an early filmmaker, for him to be there and give his advice on, so Missy, when you pull from this angle, Robert, you're going to have to tilt your head this angle so we can really see the indent, and Missy, you're going to have to pull this back to this extent so we can really see how long this tendon is. And then when you shoot it, you're going to want to shoot it from this way. And so, you know, I super appreciated everything he said, because I think that he does know how to shoot those the best, because that's what he does. And so to not only have him on set to do the effects, but to also give advice on how to shoot it, I feel it really helped us in that opening scene, and it'll continue to help us throughout the production of the film for sure.
I don't know if he's just saying he wants it, or maybe he went to the crowdfunding, but Michael Lopez in the chat here, he says the mask is mine.
Yeah, he was telling me that a couple nights ago. Yeah, it's funny. He was like, so where's that shirt at too? So I found online, I was like, where he can go buy the t-shirt that our main actor wears. Because he wants to dress up as Jeffrey Nelson at Monster Palooza when it comes back.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's always the hope, right? Like whenever you make a movie, not only do you hope people like the movie, but like you hope that, especially when you use something like a mask and someone who wears it, you hope that someone's going to be like, I want that mask. I want to be that character outside of the movie. And so just, when he told me that he liked the mask, I was like, oh, cool. Thank you. I want to own that mask. I want to dress up as him out of, the biggest horror con, in the world. Like it was a huge compliment. And, that's the whole hope of, doing this stuff. And hopefully some little girl wants to be Missy as a Halloween costume one year as well.
Yeah. You grow up
that
and
would
eat
be
Robert
so
Hughes.
cute.
Yeah.
There you go. Every little girl should aspire to eat a man 3 times her size. That came out weird, but yeah.
I'm gonna
Nothing
cut that
normal.
part out and use it as a tagline for the interview.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're going to delete it.
No, I'll save it for my private collection.
Every little girl should aspire to grow up and eat a man 3 times her size.
So did
it's
you
those
know
one-liners that she has? I can't tell you how many little one-liners I want to use for posters that she says, but
did you know Joe before the movie? Like, how did you get to know Joe?
Me?
Either one, both of you.
Go ahead, Missy. You go first.
No, I didn't know. I had never met Joe before the movie. I think I'd seen his work here and there, and then once Matthew introduced me, he's like, "Oh, look, this is who's going to be on the film." Clicking on his name, looked him up, was like, "Oh my god!" I was so excited. Yeah, so not until the movie. That was my first time meeting him.
Like Joe Castro has done because he's done so much, and you're just like, oh, it's Joe Castro. But when you actually look up on his IMDb, you're like, holy, he's done so much. Like when you actually see it right in front of you, that list you're just like, oh, he did that, 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 he did that. So it gets really kind of intimidating actually when you have him on set.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about Joe Castro is, Trista has already heard the story, I think 5 to 10 times when we were on set of Terror Tunes 4. But when I was 10 years old, I went to a Blockbuster and I saw the Terror Tunes VHS on the shelf. And I was like, that looks so cool. I want to own that. I want to buy that. So I had a small allowance when I was, 10 years old. And so I would save it and I would go to Blockbuster and buy something cool. I'd always buy movies. And Terror Tunes was one that I got, and I watched that movie and just fell in love with it. I'm just like, this movie's nuts, but it's incredible. And so when I moved to LA, I'd always known I wanted to work with Joe. But when I was still learning, doing my short films, I was like, I'll wait until I kind of get to a point where I can fully have him do something phenomenal for me. And so when I did the opening scene for Appetite for my first feature, I'm like, this is the one. So I reach out, I get the courage, and I send him a message on Facebook, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to. And I'm like, oh my God. And so he did the effects for us. And then we brought him on as an actor for Appetite as well. And so it was really crazy that, someone who I had looked up to as a kid is now working on my movie, a special effects artist and an actor on my movie. And I just helped co-directed his part 4 of Terror Tunes a couple weeks ago. So it's been a wild ride with me and Joe for sure.
Yeah. How about Robert Mukes? How did he get involved?
Well, we had done a short. Me and Missy both did a short with him. He was in our short film called The Beautiful Place, also starring Tony Moran. But like I had said, House of a Thousand Corpses was that's why I decided to pick a camera up. And so being able to work with anybody from the House of a Thousand Corpses cast was always my number one thing. I like to work with Bill Moseley one day. Unfortunately, I will never get the chance to work with Sid on a movie. But you know, if I can ever work with anybody else from that cast and crew, it would be phenomenal. And so, you know, I reached out to Robert because I knew he would be perfect for the role in my short film. And he said, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I get to direct someone from the movie that inspired me to direct movies. It was huge. And he's such a great, nice guy. Like he's phenomenal. And so when I did my first feature, I'm like, I got to bring him back. Like, it's not only because he's in my favorite film, but he's like a good friend of mine. And like, we talk and he's just a cool dude. And so I'd love to, you know, it sucks that we killed him off so early in the opening scene.
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, it's the opening scene. If you go online and watch the scene, you know, you see it. And, you know, I kind of, you know, wish we could have utilized him a little more, but yeah, I'm glad that we were able to bring him on and work with him on this one for sure.
I know, like you said, you can't work with Sid, obviously, but did you get to meet Sid like at that Days of the Dead? He was there.
Yeah, I have so many things signed from him. He was always one of those guys where, you know, a lot of especially as cons went on, prices always went up for people. And so it was harder to get so many that you wanted. But Sid, from day one, it was like free photo with me, $10 an autograph. And that never changed with him. He just loved talking to his fans. He loved just talking and taking photos.
I used to bring up along the show was he put out especially when The Walking Dead started to take off and their prices really like went astronomical. And they even started to charge just to go up and talk to them, which didn't go over well with Sid and a lot of people. But he kept his prices the same, and he always had a giant line. And I always said, not only is it, I mean, he really liked to meet the people and stuff, but it also made good business sense because if you're selling like hundreds of autographs, it's better than selling 2 or 3.
Dude, I would literally come to his booth with like 5 things every time I saw him. Like I have everything House of a Thousand Corpses that I own is signed by Sid, just because, you know, he was so cool like that and he was so open, and I could do that. I could afford to, you know, have that with him. But I mean, that the things that stand out to me are the conversations that we had, the times he would recite House of a Thousand Corpses Devil's Rejects lines and right in front of me. Like those are the things, and the photos I have with him, like those are so special. So
he's a big part of the show. He's the first guest on the show and always put a good word for me.
Oh, really?
Doing the panels and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Now the panel that you tagged yourself in, was that the Corpses one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I did all the panels that weekend, but yeah, that was the
cool
house. Yeah, it was the 10th anniversary House of a Thousand Corpses.
Cool. Yeah, that reunion show was a dream come true for me. I mean, Irwin Keyes was there, and you know, I'll never be able to work with him. And so we got to meet a lot of great people that weekend.
Yeah, that was a special one for me. Afterwards, Irwin Keyes gave me a big hug and thanked me for doing it because he had some bad experiences at other conventions with people who ran panels. But that was all around was a good experience.
Good.
Trista, do you have a question?
I do, yeah. Another friend of the show and another one of my favorite people, Linnea Quigley, is also in your film. Can you talk about her role?
Linnea, I absolutely love Linnea Quigley. I mean, she was another one of those people who were growing up. I would watch her movies, you know, Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Demons, Silent Night, Dead and Light. She was just in everything that I was watching. And so I had always known at one point I wanted to work with her as well. And so again, I think in order to be it should be a requirement. In order to direct a horror film, you got to be a horror nerd. You got to be a fan. And you know, that's me 100%. Like, you know, whenever I come to when I cast somebody, I cast them because I love them in this or because I love them in that. And so I'm like legitimately fans of these people who we're bringing on and working with. And I was very intimidated actually when she came on set that day. I was like, you know what? I've met her at cons before, and she's always been really great. But what's it like to work with her? Like, what's it like to direct Linnea? And so she kind of comes in, and I'm kind of like being a creep around the corner. I tapped my camera guy. I'm like, I'm like, Linnea's here. I was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And but it was great. Her presence is just so warm. Like it's insane. Like you just like you go and say hi to her and she's like, hey, it's so good to see you, or thanks for having me. And like we talked about my cat for like 30 minutes. Like we were we were behind schedule, just because we would just get wrapped up in conversations. But that was the best part of the day, just being wrapped up in conversations on set of my film with Linnea. Like there was nothing better than that day. Like it was literally a dream come true to be able to direct her. And she even asked me, like, my mind is still blown, but like she asked me to sign an autograph for her before she left. Like she was like, because she had brought her script with her. Her lines were in there, and so she had that, and she's like, oh, before I leave, can you sign my script for me? I was like, what? I was like, sure. So I'm just like, here you go, to Linnea. Like that just was just very weird, awkward thing for me to do. But no, it was phenomenal to be able to work with Linnea. And I just worked with her. Trista and I just worked with her a couple weeks ago on Terror Tunes 4. So now, and it was at the same studio that we shot Appetite at. And so when she came in the studio, she was like, oh, I was telling my friend here that I was just here shooting Appetite for Sin. I was like, you remember the name of my movie? And so it was just, it was great to be able to, have that interaction with her and work with her, and just talk to her about our cats and our animals and everything. It was great.
Missy, did you have any interaction with Linnea?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't there the day they filmed for that, but I was there in spirit.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll learn about her cats eventually.
Yes, that's
Dude,
like
Missy,
my go-to. Like, you got cats? Let's talk about cats. Pull out the phone. Let me see them. Let me see them fur babies. I saw her baby popped in there. I was like, oh my God, I just want to scream and say, like, put him on camera. Your fussy little fur baby.
Yeah, he pops up a lot.
Well, where's Matthews?
All right. He knew he's gonna have to make an appearance, so he's ready. I'll go grab him.
All right.
Mine was just here. She was literally scratching at my chair and then left, and now I'm just like, come back. I'm so lonely.
He was
like
sleeping.
Oh,
so he's a little out of it right now. But I think he's all
Nice to meet you.
Say hi, Wednesday.
Look at those eyes.
Hi.
Yes.
Say hi.
Oh, so precious.
Do we have the same
He
eyes?
looks very unimpressed.
Does he have my? Does
That's
he have my
usually how
eyes?
people look when they talk to me.
No.
Oh.
That's adorable.
I like that
He's
Wednesday trying to
unamused.
look up at your eyes. Yes, when you're doing that.
He's like, where are my snacks? Where are my snacks, Dad?
Exactly. He's like, I just woke up. What are we doing?
I think he wants to
I
go
saw
back to
this.
sleep.
I saw this little comic strip that a cat was addressing his human as a can opener. I was like, that's the attitude. That's the face. Like, I feel like my cats look at me and I'm just a can opener to them.
This cat though is literally my best friend, like ever. Like there's no, like he is like my life. This guy right here. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, Trista and I, we had quite a few conversations on set of Terror Tunes about cats. And I kept showing her, like, we would be like, all right, cut. Trista, look at this photo I got right here. Yeah, I think he's done. But maybe I'll come back later. Here you go. All right.
Here we go from cats. But I do want to mention the Kickstarter again. There's a lot of cool perks on there. And if you want to talk about the perks on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, we got way too much stuff on there. Not way too much. Just
we got really cool stuff.
Right, really.
That's a joke. Not too much. We got the perfect amount. Here, I'm pulling it up right now just so I can kind of go through them. But yeah, we got so much. We've got so much stuff as I'm pulling it up. I mean, we have everything from a special thanks for like $2 to like a special thanks. A special thanks shout out for like $2 to like $20 special thanks in the end credits to Missy did this photo shoot and we have a really cool poster of her for like $20. But then we have like t-shirts and shot glasses from our Vampire Bar logo on them, and
oh, cool.
yeah, and then all the way up to Blu-rays and special, Blu-rays and associate producer perks and the pumpkin mask to even submitting a song that we can use in the film, and we'll credit your band or yourself in there, and we're looking for, yeah, we're looking for like artists to do like rock music and like heavy metal music, or like and do like a nice score, like a creepy score kind of thing, and to producer credits to come hang out with us on set, and just all kinds of cool stuff. There's no shortage of perks there. And also it's pretty cool, our executive producer Joseph Kelly, he is
I have animals down here too, but they're not my cats. And go on, sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm in my basement, but there's something running around there. I don't know if it's I think it's I think it's a mouse, but I'm not positive.
We're just gonna see it on his shoulder, like just make a little quick appearance.
It could be, I don't know. But go on, sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. No, I was just anything. We have things from like Linnea Quigley signed posters. Ari Lehman's going to be in the film, so we have Jason Mass. We got Eileen Dietz who's signing an Exorcist style cross.
Oh, very cool.
And to just come hanging out with us on set, we'll give you a slate, and you can say action and take the slate home with you, and everybody will sign it and have a cool experience with us. To even being killed in the opening credits by Missy herself. So yeah, we got quite a bit on there.
Well, that's very exciting. Had you ever had any previous experience running a crowd funding?
Not of this size. We did crowdfunding for Toothless. I think our goal was about $1,000. Beautiful Place, we did an Indiegogo for about $5,000, which we were able to raise it all, and which is fantastic, but not one of this size. This has kind of been a way bigger one for us, and it's been a journey so far. We're about halfway through, well, a little less than halfway through, yeah, it's the process of it, just being on top of it and just adding new things, or just keeping people excited, giving updates. It's a full-time job on its own, running a campaign.
So Missy, what are some of the things you've done to prepare for your first leading role?
A lot of like midnight strolls through dark alleyways and just, beating up men, draining their blood. Generic vampire. What was that?
Nothing new then. Just your
no. Change nothing. Just, stay authentic as possible. No. I have been, it's going to sound funny, but I've been watching a lot of like detective shows on TV to like try to pick up their mannerisms, because I know the book stuff, right? So like I can sit there and be like a legit like attorney kind of person, but that's very boring, because in real life they're not as dramatic as they are on TV. So I'm like, well, let me just see what they look like on TV, how they sound, like their mannerisms. So I've been doing a little bit of that. I don't know if I've done anything different for vampire stuff. Just playing with some blood.
You've been rehearsing your lines. It's funny how down you already have them.
Yeah, it from like day one, like the very first day that I saw that you sent me the script, and that first big chunk where I do my little monologue, I'm just like, that's brilliant. I would say that. So I do. I randomly say that to myself. So I have that like engraved in my head. The good thing about the good thing about there's being this little delay, I guess, on production is that we're all ready to go. Missy has her wardrobe down. She's got her hair and makeup down, their lines down. We have the location. We're ready to go. And so if anybody can help us on the Kickstarter, we'd really appreciate it, because this team is ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. Another thing, I guess I'll toss in there, because I think it's kind of cute and kind of interesting. I did feel like Sarah Hayes, like her character when she is not like a vampire, would be a very well-dressed woman with like expensive wardrobe. So I was like, well, I should work on that, right? Like, but I'm like, that's expensive. So then like kind of got some people to like donate well, not donate, but like buy some of these things. So I was like, does that count as like preparing for my role? Getting some of these like expensive wardrobe pieces
I'm
so it can
gonna
be on
have to
camera.
take some of your acting advice, Missy.
It's a tax write-off. I'm just kidding.
It's never
for
occurred
work.
to me.
Right? Just like, well, I think my character needs some new like Louboutins, and it's like just kind of put it out there like who's gonna buy the wardrobe, or it's gonna be on screen.
I've been doing this wrong, all wrong this whole time.
There'll be a new segment on the show. Trista will say what she needs the next upcoming
yeah,
What
project.
she needs. What
Make a
Trista
list.
needs.
Who's gonna buy
That-
this for her?
That'll be way too long of a segment, though. Trista needs. That'd be way
Really?
too long. I'm just kidding. It'll be
Gabe
short.
here in the chat, he says, forgot to tell you, I've been playing piano for almost 26 years. May consider putting together a little piano piece for you with that.
Nice.
That would
Nice.
be awesome.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Some dark, creepy tones to set the mood for sure. And then we have a vampire bar. We need some like rock and roll playing in the background, and we have some cool. This isn't a spoiler, but we have some cool kill scenes. Of course, you have a vampire movie, so there's going to be some death. There's going to be some blood. So we're looking for some music to go with that. So we can almost, So we're looking for kind of a mixture of a lot of things. So some piano would be awesome for some of the some of the scenes that kind of will help set the mood.
You mentioned the prosthetics for Robert. Missy, do you have to wear any prosthetics for the movie? Like, I guess maybe.
No, they're all natural. I'm just kidding. He can't take me anywhere. I'm sorry. My fangs, I guess. I mean, my natural teeth are already like really creepy. So when I'm not wearing the fangs, we'll just have the normal creepy teeth. But I think prosthetic wise, I think that's it, right? Just the fangs.
Yeah, we're actually going back to our good friend Joe Castro. He's going to be doing some vampire molding of the fangs for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that? Have you ever been through that process before, getting your teeth?
No. I've had like the like just Halloween store,
like the plastic ones, right? You get
Yeah.
a gumball machine, but yeah.
Oh yeah, those two.
That's probably like dating myself, but yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you bring that up, because for the opening scene, and hopefully this doesn't impact us negatively, but for the very opening scene of Appetite, I bought fangs. I bought fangs online, and it was something that we kind of mixed and did there in the studio. But you would never know because they looked really good. But Joe, being as amazing as he is, he goes, let me do some custom fangs for these vampires. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But for that opening scene, we just bought a pair of fangs, which are actually for sale in the Indiegogo. We have those exact fangs that Missy wore in the opening scene that still might have some of Robert's blood on it.
And my
for
saliva.
sale. And your saliva.
If you're into that. We don't judge. We don't
Yeah,
judge.
like, use a Jurassic Park technology. You can clone Missy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There you go. I've gotten that comment. When is my clone coming in? I'm like, I don't have that technology. But now you can obtain some of my spit. So buy the fangs. There's only one pair. Buy the fangs.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you're gonna do with them, or you could just keep it to yourself. Like I said, we don't judge. Just come support.
What you should do is buy the fangs. We'll ship them to you. Then you can come see us on set, and she'll sign the box. It's in a coffin shaped box. See, that's the perfect idea for it.
Yeah.
I love that.
A plan. If you buy the fangs, and we'll have them there for you on set. If you do the set thing too, it'll be perfect.
Do it.
Do it.
Like
But it's funny. So when I pulled up the Kickstarter to go through the perks, I was kind of like, oh wait, what happened here? But Michael Lopez was right. That mask is his. The mask is gone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Thank you. That's awesome. That's so badass.
Thanks, Mike Lopez. Now you got to go buy the T-shirt so you can wear it at Monsterpalooza when it happens.
Gabe's got all kinds of puns here. He's got a fang you. I'm biting my lip on this one.
Ah,
That
You mentioned that convention a couple times. Are you planning to do something there? Monster Palooza?
I don't even know what Monster Palooza is, to be honest with you. I don't know if they have a new if they have a new date set up, or I mean, like everything is so up in the air. I know Midsummer had just announced that I believe they just canceled their show this year because it was supposed to be in the summer. So I think they just canceled it completely this year. So I don't even know if it's happening. But when it does, Michael will be there wearing the mask. So if you see a Frankenstein pumpkin mask walking around, it's Michael Lopez.
Now it's probably too early, but what are your plans like on releasing the movie? Do you want to go to like festivals, or like how do you want to go about that?
Well, we we're not going the festival route with the feature. We're hoping to go to land a distribution deal and just take it straight. Just put it in everybody's hands. I've done the festival circuit a bunch now with a lot of the shorts, and as much as I love the festival circuit because you get to meet people and talk to people and connect and make connections, it just takes that much longer for people to see your product. It drives me crazy that a lot of times with short films, people are saying, I want to watch it. Well, you got to buy a ticket, you got to go to the festival to go see it. And nowadays, people will just pop open Netflix or whatever, like they want it, everybody wants it now. I mean, I'm that way too. I want to see things, but like it's that much harder for people to see it, and it takes them that much longer to see it. And I feel that the distribution right away route is the best way for us to go, and that's what we're going to try to do. But Missy, do you want to tell them what we plan on for the premiere?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember.
So we're hoping to have a premiere in October, and we don't want to do your conventional red carpet. We want to have a
black carpet.
Black carpet.
Hey, there
premiere.
we go. She's got it. She's there. She's a little slow, but she's there.
Yeah. So we want to have a smaller, more intimate black carpet premiere for the event. Now, where are things going to be in this COVID world in October? No idea. But Missy, actually, we haven't talked about this one yet, but I was kind of thinking, I was talking on it on an interview with the I Spit in Your Mouth podcast last week, and they really dug the idea. And so I was kind of thinking of like, if we have to do an outdoors thing, we can do like kind of like a drive-in thing kind of thing. We're in a parking lot, we have a big screen up, we have chairs set up, we have, so we have right in the middle, you have the screen. People are sitting outside watching the movie. On the right side, you have the black carpet, the backdrop. And then on the left side, as soon as the movie is over, you get a horror punk rock band dressed in costumes playing for you. So you just have a big party. It's kind of like in Hocus Pocus. You have this band come out,
my God,
dressed in costume. Everyone's partying and dancing, and you still got the black carpet over there. And
that's brilliant.
Can
I attend this now? Can this happen like now? Like as soon as you told me that Dottie and Emily like this idea, I was like, I know I'm gonna love it. Just tell me. I know I'm gonna love it.
Well, they wanted to come and do press there and like interview people on the black carpet. So I'm like, all right, come out and we'll all do it.
That would be amazing. I like that idea. That idea. And I love that we are able to put it out there into the community and everybody can see this like in real life, like as we're talking, because I feel like they're going to feel like they're part of it. So when they like something, they let us know. When they don't like something, they let us know. So I feel like thank you to everybody that's watching, and just let us know, because I feel like they're going to be just as excited as I am right now, just jumping off my chair. Like, yes, can we please do an old school horror movie drive-in? That's going to be amazing.
That could be fun. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off, but then after the premiere, a week later, hopefully you can go to your local Best Buy or Walmart and go buy it. So hopefully.
Everyone in the chat, by the way, is saying that they were looking forward to seeing the movie, Missy.
Oh, yay! Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. It's like, do they even like us?
Do we have any friends out there?
No. Trista, do you have another question?
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about A Shadow in the Dark Productions and what you specialize in?
Well, A Shadow in the Dark Productions is actually the production company for my executive producer, Joseph Kelly. I'm not specifically involved in Shadow of the Dark Productions. That's his production company, but he does. You might know him from the Clown Motel series. He did Clown Motel, which also has Tony Moran, Ari Lehman, and a few others who are in our film. Sherry Davis, and so he did Clown Motel 2, and he's working on a couple other features, Compatible and A Bleeding Dark, and now Appetite for Sin. And Joseph is about to do his new Kickstarter, a new film that he just finished a Kickstarter for called Clowny. That's going to be on a Shadow of the Dark Productions as well. So we got about 6 or 7 titles on there.
This man likes his clowns.
Yeah, he likes clown.
Or maybe he doesn't like
sure.
clowns. I don't know.
Or the opposite. Yeah, maybe.
Or he's afraid. He's tackling his own fears here with
exactly.
the clown.
Exactly. Oh,
my little baby. She's like, I heard my presence was requested.
I love
Mela?
how your facial expression, how you just jumped for joy there, Trista. literally jumped out of your chair of joy when you saw the cat. I love that. You did. No, but it's good though. So did I.
Oh, her name's
I
Mela.
didn't hear you. Matthew won't stop talking.
Can we just all pause everything right now? We're talking about cats. Her name's Mela.
Mela. Oh my goodness.
Wednesday, say hi. Say hi, Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Hi,
Wednesday. Oh, it's like they're online dating.
Yeah. Say hi.
She's like,
She's
no.
not
He's like, no,
about
I
it. No.
He's like, or whatever it is. Yeah.
You're handsome.
Oh, he is handsome.
She just had her second birthday. It was was it Monday or Tuesday? The 12th. I don't know what the 12 was. I'm like so lost. But yeah, she just had her second birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'll let her know. I'm a crazy spooky cat mom. I go all out. I get balloons. I make her a little cake for her. Her candle. It's ridiculous.
You're
but
saying this so loud, and my cats are looking at me super hard right now. So stop.
They're like, Mom, the bars are here.
I'm in trouble right now.
You even have she has her own Instagram account.
She has
too.
her own Instagram. I had to. The very first day. Do we have time? Can we talk about this? Because I feel like I'm just gonna take this opportunity to talk about my baby.
Yeah.
The very first day that she was brought to me, because that's kind of what my house is. It's an unofficial cat sanctuary. We had just come back from, I don't know if it was like Scarelay or Monsterpalooza, one of those conventions. And we were out there for like 3 days. And I was like tapped out. I was dry. I was like, I used up my savings to like try to enjoy all 3 days out there. And I come back home and I'm like trying to like unwind. And then I think not that same day, I think it was like the next day, I hear meowing outside my door and I'm like, oh no, that's not a good sign. Cause it was like a baby meow. And then, yeah, there was one of the neighbors had this little tiny cat in their hand and it was tiny. It looked like a little tiny little fur ball. And I had no questions asked. I'm like, just let me have her. But she shared her story. She said, I found her in the trash. Someone put her in a shoebox. So it looks like they were trying to get rid of her in a very inhumane kind of way. And I was like, I don't need to hear this. This is gonna like destroy me, but give her to me. So like the first few days I was just fostering her, but she was literally only a few days old. She had like no teeth. She was still blind. She couldn't walk. She still waddled. So we had to like bottle feed her. And doing that, it made me form a bond with her. So I was like, I was only interested in fostering her for like maybe 2 or 3 days. And then after that, I was like, nope, it's closed. Window's closed. I'm keeping her. She's just like the cutest little thing. Cutest little baby. She's so funny, crazy personality. My daughter. I'm good. I don't need to have kids after this.
Did the name come from? Where did the name come from?
Vampira. Not very original.
Yeah, Neal, what are you talking about?
Sorry.
Duh, Neal.
No, it just I don't know why it fit her. It just sounded cute. It sounded Spanish because like I normally speak Spanish around the house. And so I don't know why Mela sounded adorable. And then I added the Gil, like my fake last name. I was like, Mela Gil. What the hell? That sounds cute. All right, that's her name. Oh, I forgot to mention her Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, the very first day that I got her, I posted about it on Instagram because like I said, I was tapped out and I was like, oh my gosh, I know that when they're that tiny, they need like a lot of things and they need to go to the doctor to make sure they're okay. So I was like, I'm so sorry, I hate doing this, but if there's anybody that wants to like help out any way that they can, I really appreciate it. I need to buy like powder milk, like special milk for like newborn kittens. I was like, I've never done it this young. I've never rescued that young. So I was like, if anybody wants to send any recommendations, help me out as much as like you, I mean, as like whatever you can. Because at that point I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know how to help this poor kitten. And the outpour was amazing. There's so many people coming in with like advice. Also like one like simple thing, I thought I was feeding her correctly and they're like, oh my gosh, stop that, you're gonna kill her. I'm like, what the hell? Like, oh, why? And like, don't put her upside down, she can like suffocate on the little milk, it could go down into her lungs. And I was like, I was holding her the way you hold like human babies. So I was like, I thought that was normal. Like, no. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for like educating me, thank you so much for letting me know. So from day one, Mela was in the public's eye, like from day one. So I feel like the more that I shared about her, because of course after that everybody wanted updates. So like, how is she doing? Is she growing? Is she eating normal? How was her vet appointments? So I was like, you know what? I never thought I would do this, like make an Instagram for an animal, but like the internet really likes her. So I was like, I'll make one. Like, so that way, if anybody wants to see how she's doing, what she's up to, this is where it got weird. Cause at first I was responding as myself, but then I was like, they're not there because of me. They're there because of her. So like, wouldn't it make sense if she's the one responding?
Yeah, this is weird. This is very weird. It took a turn.
Yeah, so
You
like,
started using your phone.
yeah, it took a
You're
weird
catfishing
turn.
people like other cats as your cat.
With her little bean fingers, she's typing. She's like, yo, what's up? I got my mom's phone now. Yeah, so at this point it's her responding now to messages. I'm like, it just took a weird turn. It took a weird turn. I'm just going
so
with
weird.
it.
Also, my cats are I'm such a terrible cat mom. I should be impersonating them on the internet. It's apparently.
That is the moral of the story, I think.
Is that what you're doing, Matthew?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's you, Missy.
It's just me, the only weirdo. Apparently, I'm the only weirdo here. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is
No,
this
but just-
Missy or is this Mela pretending she's
Is this Mela pretending to be
Oh,
me?
you're gonna rip off your face.
Turns out it's her in stilts the whole time.
That's funny.
That's a nice touch. I like that it's still.
But to be fair, like to try to clear my name, it was not intentional. I never thought I would do that. You know,
The
like, I
damage
didn't,
is done.
the damage
No.
is done. But like, I didn't, yeah, I'll just own it.
No, I think it's great. I follow her. I love it.
Are you talking to her?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah,
He DMs her as Wednesday though.
That's a good point.
My daughter's too young to be talking to boys right now.
There's only 2. That's 14.
She's only 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
All right. So where do
Crazy
people
kitties.
follow Appetite for Sin?
We are on Instagram and Facebook, and it's literally just at Appetite for Sin. I think the Facebook is Appetite for Sin film, and then Instagram is just Appetite for Sin. So, but either way, we're the only. If you can find anything that says Appetite for Sin, that's us. We're the only one.
The hashtag.
Hashtag Appetite for Sin. Easy stuff. And then I'm just my favorite Disneyland character at Hatbox Ghost. And Missy, you want to talk about your accounts?
Oh gosh, yeah. So we have Mela.
That's a priority.
The
That's
first
priority
one that
one.
you need to go follow. I'm just kidding. No, there's mine. It's under Monku Gil. I don't know. There's nothing cool about that name. Everybody has like a cool backstory. It's just Monku Gil. And then I think that's it. Just that in my shop, Monku shop. If I can just have sneak that little insert in there.
Yeah, definitely.
No, Manku Shop. Well, I guess I should spell it because Manku is not a real word. It's MANKU and then shop. And then my personal one is the same thing, MANKU and then Geal, GEAL.
Easy
Excellent.
stuff.
Yeah. This has been very fun.
Yeah, man.
Thank you both for doing this. And everyone's
Absolutely.
looking forward to
Do you
Appetite.
know when Monster Palooza is? Because you would probably be doing a panel there.
No idea. I've actually never been
You
to
have no
Monster.
You've never been to Monster Palooza either?
No.
Really?
I go to Monster Palooza and son of Monster Palooza.
I know.
Missy doesn't even live in LA, and she goes to Monster Palooza.
I
you
don't
live in
either. I'm
LA.
in Massachusetts.
That's right.
I'm on the other
That's
side.
right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's right. All right. You have an excuse. All right.
All right. Well, thank you.
You should make
I
it
should
out.
go. Yeah.
Well, the Days of the Dead. Which one was that one that you moderated?
That was LA. Yeah.
That was oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So nothing I'm saying makes a lot of sense.
No, I was confused because I've been to Days of the Dead, like the Atlanta, the Chicago one. I couldn't remember which one that one was. But you've been to
the first 3 or 4 years I did all the panels. Well, most of the panels for Days of the Dead.
Gotcha.
So you
I'm
probably
actually going to be. We were going to be doing an Appetite booth at the Days of the Dead in Las Vegas. That's next month. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that one after all. But I'm still going to show up. Corey Taylor is going to be there, so I mean, I got to go. Corey Taylor's going to be there, and Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to go to conventions and festivals again here eventually. I get my second shot in a couple weeks. I had my first shot.
Awesome. Did you get any reaction? Like,
No, not at all. I was totally fine. And both my mom and my brother had both theirs, and they didn't have any side effects from either one. So.
Nice. I just had my second one. Was it last Saturday? Just a little small fever, but nothing big. It was just like overnight, and then like the next day, I was good. I think I missed out on like so many messages because I was out. And I would be like in and out, like in a haze. And I'm like, what am I doing? Get out of social media. I can't be. I'm probably speaking nonsense to people right now.
Oh, yeah. Well,
as your cat.
Yeah, I was just saying, they're thinking it's a cat. So you're going to blame it on Mela. Yeah.
It was Mela. It was her little paws. You can't judge her.
It's Mela's fault.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you got both yours and nothing too bad.
Yeah. We need more people to go out, get vaccinated. Wear your masks. We want these conventions to come back. We miss it. For some of us, it's kind of all we have. Not to paint a sad story, but I know. I've been cooped up with like, I don't know how many cats. Some of us, these conventions is all we have. So please, do your part so we can go back to these. So we can go back to
this is getting desperate at the end here, Missy.
But on a serious note, I'm friends with a lot of vendors, through the conventions, and that is, their livelihood. So and a lot of veteran actors, it's a lot of their livelihood too. So
yeah,
it's fun for everybody, but it also it helps a lot of people too.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm excited for the Days of the Dead next month. Linnea's going to be there. I know she's been eager to kind of get back at these things, and just like everybody else. So I'm going to support all the vendors and the celebrities, and even the convention too. I know it's not easy to put on an event during this time, and so just going out to support. I'm glad it's opening up.
Yeah, all right.
Hopefully there's more of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the movie.
Thank you. We're looking forward to making it.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to finishing it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this again when the drive-ins pop up or when the movie's up.
Exactly, for sure.
All right.
Well, thanks for having us. Sorry, Kickstarter, we've still got another like 2 weeks on there. One thing I just wanted to say is everybody on this cast and crew, we've all kind of been here from day one back to shooting the first scene in 2019. So we're all dedicated, and this is if you've ever wanted to support a passion project, I mean, that's us. Missy and I started this in 2016, and 5 years later we're trying to finish it off. And we've gone through our challenges before even COVID started with, we don't even know if anybody was going to like it, to shooting the opening scene, to we have enough to go shoot enough, and now we've been shut down for 8 months, and now we're doing half of it. And then, so it's been a challenge. So honestly, every backer we have so far, thank you so much. I have no idea how much we appreciate it. This literally is like everything to us. And so, every dollar goes to something on set. A lot of people don't really understand, well, not understand, but unless you've worked on a production, you don't know how much is really involved in making a movie, making something happen. And literally every penny's going to something on set. It's helping us. So thank you for your contributions, and thank you to you guys for having us on here to even say this. So it's
Definitely.
huge.
Thank you
Yes,
guys.
thank you so very much.
Yeah. And thank you both for coming on. Anyone
Thank you for
All right.
having us.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.